Hi, my name is Hannah Cox. I'm here to tell you about Project Salt Run, a challenge that I'm doing at the moment. I'm on day 7, but before I get into it, I'm going to tell you exactly what Project Salt Run is. So 10 years ago, I read a book called The Great Hedge of India. My dad is from Kolkata. I was really interested in learning more about my heritage, and I read about this giant hedge, 4,030 kilometers long, bigger than the Great Wall of China, that used to intersect through India, or what is now Pakistan and India, to enforce a salt tax through the country. It was called the Inland Customs Line. It was put there by the East India Company to basically take millions of pounds out of the country in a salt tax. As a result of this inland customs line, also bad weather at the time and lots of other things, it resulted in one of the biggest famines in India. 6 to 8 million Indians died. Now, the weird thing about this story is no one knows about it. No one knows about the inland customs line really in the UK or here in India. In fact, there's one map that shows the whole inland customs line, which you can find in the British Library from 1874. So I got obsessed with the idea of coming over here. Why? Because my dad's from India. He was born in Kolkata. I wanted to learn more about my cultural heritage, and I thought this would be an amazing way for me to get to know the country by travelling the length of this customs line. Now, I'm going to tell you the story in another video, but some crazy stuff happened about 18 months ago, and I decided I was going to run the entire length of this inland customs line. Now, to give you an idea of how big and long it was 4,030 kilometers long. It was manned by 12 to 14,000 army officers, and it was a huge hedge that ran through the entire country, about 18 foot high, 12 foot deep. It was also at some times a wall. It was a river that was intersecting the land. You can read all about it, like I said, in this book called The Great Hedge of India. Now, I thought, do you know what? I want to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but as you can see from my outfit, and I don't know if I can show you my shoes, I've decided to run it. So behind me is my support vehicle, and for the last 7 days I've been running a marathon every single day, and I plan to do that for the next 93 days. So that's going to be 100 marathons in 100 days across the old inland customs line. Now, couple of things you might be thinking is, why the hell is she doing this? Is she even a real runner? Well, no, I actually only started running properly in May last year on my 40th birthday. So it's the biggest challenge I've ever done. In fact, I did my first ultra in 5 months. I did it as a training run, coast to coast across the UK in June. So this, even today, is the furthest I've ever run and the longest I've ever run ever in my life. So everything you're going to see is going to be a first for everything. Also, no one's ever done this route before. As far as we know, we're the first people that have ever tried to travel the whole of the inland customs line. Now, why are we doing it? Now, I work in sustainability. I run something called the Better Business Network, which is a community for businesses to join so they can be signposted to ways in which they can make the world a better place through how their businesses work, through how they work together, and also through how they collaborate to do collective action. And this is one of our big collective action things this year, and we're trying to raise £1 million for charities that are doing amazing things for the planet. The ones we've chosen are 1% for the Planet, which is a global organisation which encourages businesses to invest 1% of their revenue into high impact non-profits. We're also raising money for Frank Water, which is an incredible water charity which has many projects around the world and several here in India that we're trying to support. We're also supporting Big Change, which is an incredible charity based in the UK. We're actually going to be meeting some other fundraisers at the Taj Mahal in a few weeks, and they do amazing work with young people and social entrepreneurs to help them create high impact businesses. And lastly, we're raising money for ClientEarth, which is a law firm that takes governments and businesses to account for making sure they're looking after the planet that we live on. So that's me. That's a little bit about Project Salt Run. So in a few words, I'm obsessed with the hedge in India. I've decided to run the length of it, 100 marathons in 100 days, finishing at my dad's childhood home. I'm here with some of my best mates, and we're travelling in this van across the country to try and raise £1 million for charity. So why don't you come along for the ride, let me know what you think, and I'm just going to show you a few highlights from the last week in the next few clips. See you in a bit.